time when I was alone, nowhere to go and no place to call home.
Hello everyone, this is Indigo Red Soldier coming to you live. Again, not really, but I like saying that. So, what do I want to talk to you about today? Actually, today I want to share to you a little bit about my awakening story so far. And I'm talking about the ascension, the paradigm shift. I'm talking about that whole new age mumbo jumbo that you might have heard around, being thrown around by various people, maybe friends, maybe family. I mean, if you're hearing about it, there's a reason why you're hearing about it. If you don't know about it, then, like I said, there's a reason why you're hearing about it, and there's a reason why you're hearing about it from me too. And that's because I want to share with you my story in the hopes that it will help you understand what you're going through. And that's really what this is about. It's a lot of people just helping each other with what many people don't talk about. The reason why this is so new and revolutionary for everyone on this planet, I believe, is because it's making us share who we are, not as individuals, not as human beings or people in general, but as living beings, as consciousness itself, as energy, as what we really are inside. That 1 inch of us that we hold on to no matter what. That 1 inch that we might have forgotten about it because it's so small, but it's so freaking precious. You should never forget it. You can never forget it. I've never forgotten mine. I'm just trying to remember it. So, let me share to you how it all started. I believe, and I mean, this is a timeline that I kind of am holding myself to, but I could be completely wrong. I started waking up to this whole um, changing times, changing ideas, revolution of humankind back in 2012. Yes, I'm talking about the Mayan calendar 2012. Like, I did believe for a long while that the world was gonna come to an end. Personally, I prayed for zombies. I wanted zombies to be the end of the world so I could go out and shoot some heads. Didn't happen, right? There's the reason for things not to happen. In the end, I got zombie games still, so hey, I didn't lose out completely. This reality gave me the zombie apocalypse I wanted to a degree, and I got to live through it too. That's the way I look at it, anyways. But what was going on back then was Syria. Syria and what was the other place? Saddam, I think. Gaddafi and Assad. Those two guys. And I mean, we'd just gotten out of like Iraq somewhat. I mean, we're still in Iraq, I think, right now. I don't really know because I haven't kept up with the news. I turned off the TV. That is one thing that I did do. I mean, yes, I still have the internet, but I'm not on it all the time. Like, well, never mind, I actually am, but it's different than being like on the television, because on the computer at least I have the freedom to choose where I go and what I see. If I want to go on YouTube for 10 hours, I can go on YouTube for 10 hours. If I want to go to Wikipedia for 10 hours, I can go to Wikipedia for 10 hours. It's not the same as television where you're sitting down on your couch and you're just getting bombarded by what the television programmers want you to see. That stuff is bad. I mean, that's uh, someone said that's why they call television programs because they're programming your head to like think a certain way. I kind of believe it's true because ever since I stopped watching television, I mean, it's been about close to 4 years, 4 years now that I haven't actually had cable television. I still watch cable shows, but only the ones I like The Walking Dead or Breaking Bad or Actually, those are about the only ones I watch anymore. Some cartoons like Rick and Morty and Futurama, Simpsons, but mostly it's just trying to find out new stuff about this planet that I live in. And what I've come to find out recently was the whole paradigm shift. Sorry about that. I had a bit of an accident in the room. One of my frames fell on some dishes and broke a couple of glasses, so yeah, I had to clean up the glasses before I kept going because if I didn't, then I probably would have hurt myself later, right? I mean, even little ones are really fucking sharp, so yeah, I really wanted to take care of that. But anyways, what was I talking about? Awakening and where I was, right? Syria. I believe my actual, like, the catalyst to my whole awakening, because before that, like, I'm sure there were things that influenced where I was going, what I was thinking, and what I wanted to do, what I was going to be doing. But the thing that actually made it all, like, expand at a geometric rate, I want to say, was the chemical attacks in Syria. When the America U.S. government wanted to say that Assad was launching chemical weapons against its own people, but it turned out to be the rebels that were launching the chemicals and not Assad. I mean, the rebels that America was sponsoring were using chemical attacks on their own people. That was the crap that I was like, what the hell's going on in this world, right? That's when I woke up to what reality was. And what reality was at that point for me was accepting someone else's narrative of the truth, never using my own until I did. And when I did, I realized this has to stop. This has to stop. That's an easy statement to make, very hard to implement, especially if you're like a nobody. I am a nobody in so many senses. Nobody really knows who I am because I've never actually shared it with anyone, for starters, but I'm also a nobody because I don't have a certificate, a diploma, or anything that says I am someone in this world, apparently. That's what you need. Also, that's another thing that actually got me to wake up to everything. Like, most of the people who have certificates get them from people who kind of work for them already. I mean, the only way to get into the inner circle of the higher ups, is by becoming a part of their group and like getting them to trust you and you trusting them too. And that's a really hard thing to do. Even in the outer circles, apparently, like everything's based on trust for some reason, instead of just love. Love is easier than trust, honestly, in so many ways. I can talk about that later, though. I need to talk about what my awakening process was like. So after the whole Syrian attacks and everything, I was already a believer in the 9/11 conspiracy. Like, that was an inside job. That was controlled demolition, not like the effects of the planes hitting the towers. I mean, there's a picture online that you can watch, that you can see, of a firefighter or rescuers working, and you can see the beams on the bottom floor cut at an angle. Like, they're not crumbly, they're not bent, they're not anything. They're cut. And even if you don't believe it was a controlled demolition, how do you explain something like that? Because those are still beams. Those are still beams that had like a couple thousands, if not millions, of tons on top of them. And they're just cut at an angle. Anyways, I'm not gonna bring up too much conspiracy theory because frankly there's a lot of it. From chemtrails to GMOs to depopulation, eugenics. I mean, I think eugenics was implemented a long time ago and now we're starting to really see what's happening with it. Vaccines having mercury and formaldehyde. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but formaldehyde inside it to like screw kids when they're developing. I mean, I think taking care of our kids when they're little is a good idea. Vaccines might be being used for a bad cause though. And again, that's conspiracy theory. I'm not gonna bring up too many points because I could probably make a video on that on itself. Thing is, when I started questioning what was going on around my world and seeing just how much power people give to just a small hand group of people, just I don't really understand why they do that anymore. Why they don't reclaim their own righteousness in some way. So anyways, it's been about 5 years since I started waking up. And through that whole time I've learned a lot of things. I mean, I'll make more videos about everything that I've learned so far, but it's been a big journey to go from being hateful about what's going on in the world, all the being hateful about hate. That's something to realize that you're hateful about people being hateful about people being hateful for petty things, for resources. It's disgusting. Then I went to the conspiracy mode, where I started learning, well, just how many different ways are they trying to screw us over, right? I went into the rebellious mode, where I wanted to join the militias and, cause chaos and pretty much bring it to the man, bring down the man. In fact, I still want to do that, but I know that's not, violence is not an option in this case. Violence is not an option. Now I'm getting to I think, another stage of my awakening process, and that's acceptance, and that's transmutation. That's what the enlightened ones are calling it, transmutation. Transmuting all of that has happened before, everything that I've gone through, and making it into something that can be used for good, for the good that I want to see in this world. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We really are. If we don't get it, we can't expect our kids to get it, and our kids' kids, our grandkids, or their generation after them to get it right. It's up to us to stop what's going on before it gets too out of hand. So what am I doing? I'm doing what I can. So I'm gonna ask you, what are you doing? You don't have to answer it. I didn't answer it for myself for a long time. But you already know what the question is. So, where do you go from here? Anyways, daily blog done. I'm quite happy with it. This is gonna be a long one, but again, I'm not planning these ahead of time, and I'm letting them be what they be. So, I'll see you again tomorrow. To everybody out there, take care. Love everyone you can. I want to be as helpful as I can to you. So, you know, comment, rate, subscribe, and take care. Namaste. Okay, so I did stop that already, and now I'm starting again because I just felt like I had to go on a roll for a little bit longer. And that's really what this is. Like, I feel like I want to talk about this a little more, so I am going to talk about it a little bit more. Last year felt almost like something was going to erupt for me. Like I felt something was going to erupt inside me. And I didn't know what it was about, really. I mean, with everything that has happened in my life so far, from losing my mom to having all these insecurities about myself and moving around and stuff, it's just what was happening to me was, I think, manifesting now. And that's a desire to do more and energy to like not sit around anymore. Because for the past 5 years that I was talking about learning from conspiracy theories to everything that's going on and informing myself, I was wasting a lot of time just sitting around and accepting other people's reality. I was watching so many people on YouTube and never really taking the time for myself. So now I want to take the time for myself, but not to be conceited, not to be self-righteous or anything, but to actually share the same things that that were shared with me. That's the only way I can see this moving forward, really, and that's by being free and open with yourself to the whole world. It's gonna take some time, but time's all we got, so why don't we use it for something good, I think. Anyways, like I said, I guess I just really wanted to go do this and do this my own way still, so Frank Sinatra, I still love your song. Anyways, namaste.
There was a time when I was alone, nowhere to go and no place to call home.